I'm asked all the time, what do I listen to when I train? Especially the long runs when I'm out for 4 hours, 5 hours, 10 hours, 24 hours and more. What do I listen to on those long training runs? Or even if I'm at the gym, do I listen to music, podcasts, audiobooks? Fact is, none. I don't listen to anything when I'm training. And here are the three reasons why, the three very important reasons why, and the reasons why you won't want to after listening to this. First one is kind of a logistical one, partially logistical, partially preference. The first one is I want to know what's going on around me. I want to hear the bicycles coming around me. I want to see people. I want to hear people walking, talking. I want to know about the cars, especially the cars that are so quiet today. I want to know where they are. I want to be fully in tune with what's happening to me and people around me for my safety, for just because I want to be present and because I want to see and hear things. But I also like to hear the sounds of the birds, the sounds of people talking, kids laughing, whatever I might hear when I'm out for a run. Or if I'm in the gym, I like hearing the commotion of other people, the weights clanging, people grunting a little bit, huffing and puffing when they're on the treadmill. I like hearing that because I find that very motivational. Hearing other people on the same path, working out, getting stronger. That's fantastic. That's only one reason. That's the logistical kind of preference reason. Good enough reason in itself. But here's the second reason. Here's the more important reason. Is that if I'm listening to something, then I am out of tune. I am distracted from what my body is doing. If I'm listening to something, I'm listening to a good podcast or I'm listening to a good audiobook or music that I really like, instead of paying attention to my body, I'm paying attention to what I'm listening to. I'm probably training harder than I should because I'm distracted, but I'm also not hearing the signals of getting thirsty, dehydration starting to kick in, or needing more fluids. I'm not feeling and hearing the signals from my muscles saying go harder, go easier. I'm missing all of those. I'm out of tune with my body. And so these are important things to know. What is your body doing? What is it telling you? This is how you avoid injuries. People get injured often because they got the freaking earbuds in. They're not paying attention and they're just going out and trying to be like Arnold Schwarzenegger and trying to lift more weight than they can, doing something stupid, running too hard, not paying attention, tripping on the ground because they have music on and they're not paying attention to what's happening. So that's another reason I want to be one with what's going on. So I want to know what my body's doing. I want to know what the environment's doing. I want to be together, one, mentally, emotionally, physically, with what's happening with my training. I don't want to be distracted. I'm training to get bigger, better, stronger, faster, whatever it is. And so I don't want to be distracted from that process because that process is forging my strength. It's forging my personality. It's forging everything in my life. It's not about working out. It's about what's going on between your head. It's about what's going on in your body and being in tune with all of those things that are happening. So if you're listening to something, you can't feel and hear and sense all of the signals that are happening in your body, the tweaks, the creaks, the rust kicking out of your body, the strength when you're feeling good, to go even a little bit harder, you've got to be in tune with what's happening there. Those are the two first reasons, essentially being in tune with what's happening, being together in the moment with what's happening. But here's the most important reason, and here's the reason that's going to change your mind about not listening to this stuff so that you're distracted. Mental strength. You want to forge your mindset to be strong, to push through, to not be distracted, and to be able to mentally feel what's happening, feel the weakness, feel your brain saying quit, 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 because it says that all the time. I'm not immune to this. When I'm out running, there are days that from mile one, from step one, like, fuck, I don't want to be doing this. This sucks today. And yet I've got to push through that because that's the mental strength. That's stepping into your the warrior side of your masculinity and your strength to be able to push through when your mind says no, 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 quit, 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 stop, 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 and makes up a million excuses. That's what you have to push through. That's going to make you stronger. That's going to make you better. It's going to make you not only physically stronger, but more importantly, mentally, emotionally stronger. And that's going to help you and cascade into other parts of your life. You're going to have a peripheral effect throughout all other parts of your life. So you're going through a run, you're going for training, you don't feel like doing it. It's one of those days, it's just, you feel like crap and it's just like, I don't really want to be here, and you want to push through. And when you push through that, you're telling your mind that I don't quit. I keep going even when I want to stop. And I get it done no matter what. And when you start teaching and training and conditioning your mind, your body, your emotions to go to push through, where do you think that's going to apply in the rest of your life? How do you think that's going to have an effect in the rest of your life? Is it going to help you be more focused at work? Is it going to help you be more present with your wife and your kids? Is it going to help you be more present with yourself? Is it going to help you make more money? Is it going to help you deal with stress and anxiety and challenges better? Yes to all of these things. What about when you go through a challenge of life, you have some sort of problem in life, you have a financial difficulty, you go through a breakup or a divorce, or your kid gets into trouble, or you lose a job, or something happens in your life that just kicks you, knocks you on your ass. How do you get back up if you don't have a strong mind because you're listening to some freaking song? Now, I think it's amazing that you're working out, and if you're listening to music, you're doing better than 95% of the people out there or more. So that's great. But take it up a level, go to the next level, put it into warrior mode, and get the extra strength, the extra benefit, so that when you do get your feet knocked out from under you, you do get knocked on your side, life goes sideways, you have the mental strength to push through no matter what happens to your life. It's not only about the workout, it's about building your mindset so that you can handle anything that life might bring to you. You can take it on and you can just say, hell yeah. And you can keep pushing through. It's not going to be easy, just like a training run. When I was running across America, it wasn't easy. Not a single day, 100 days running a marathon a day from California to New York. There wasn't a single freaking day that was easier. But you know what happened between day 1 and day 100? It got easier, and it got easier, and it got easier. And every day became a little bit easier. But I had to push through the pain. I had to push through the discomfort. I had to push through my mindset wanting to quit every day, every mile, every freaking step. My body, my mind, my emotions wanted to quit, but I had to push through. Death Valley, 117 degrees, 146 miles, from the lowest point to the highest point in the continental United States, pushing a cart by food, water, and supplies because it was an unassisted, unhelped run. I was doing it by myself out in 117 degrees, the hottest place on the planet, 72 hours and 55 minutes without listening to a single note of music, without listening to a single podcast, without listening to a single audiobook or even a single chapter of an audiobook. It was me and the desert. And essentially no sounds there because the desert doesn't make a whole lot of sounds. And there's no people going through there. So it was just me and my thoughts. So what do you think happens when you create a stronger mindset? When you get so strong, so focused, you have tapped into a part of your mind that few people ever reach, ever find, ever dig deep to get to, ever condition. So few people do this. Why? It's because they always want to be distracted. But when you do this, when you give up the music and the audio and the earbuds, and you start building that mental strength, what do you think happens? It's this very similar thing to meditation. The idea of meditation is not only to quiet your mind, although that's part of the process. The idea of meditation is to increase the gaps between your thoughts. You see, we have thoughts constantly, all day, thousands of thoughts. That's how your brain is going. It's always going. It rarely ever rests. But we do have these gaps between thoughts. And for most of us, these gaps are nothing. But the idea of meditation and the idea of training without music, without distraction, is increasing the space between those thoughts. So mile 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, my mind's still going pretty active. It's not until mile 4, 5, 6 that my mind starts to quiet down. The gaps between those thoughts, they start to increase. Mile 6, mile 7, mile 8. I go run 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 miles a day, every day. I never take a day off. Unless I'm sick or it's some holiday or some really rare special occasion. I always work out, and you should too. Every day, never a day off. There's a whole idea that you need a rest day. It's bullshit. You don't need a rest day. You may need some rest, but that's different than a rest day. My rest days are maybe walking or a light jog, going for a swim rather than going for a hardcore run or going lifting weights. So my rest days are active rest. So I work out every single day, and you should too. Why? Back to the same idea. It's the mental strength. I don't ever take a day off. I always work out. Fitness is that important to me. My health is that important to me. Being strong, healthy, focused, mental strength, all so important to me. I never, ever, ever, ever take a day off, and neither should you. But the idea with this is that the gap, you increase the space between your thoughts, the gaps, you increase that space, and what does that do? That helps you control your thoughts, control your emotions, but one level deeper than that, it helps you be comfortable with yourself. Be strong in the silence. Because a strong man is strong in the silence, doesn't need to always talk, doesn't always need to listen to something, doesn't need to be distracted by everything. If you're in your masculinity as a man, if you're truly strong, you are comfortable in silence, at least momentarily, at least for segments, for portions. And that's another reason why I never listen to music, because I want to be comfortable with myself and my thoughts. And eventually, after enough miles, I'm training hard enough, my mind just goes quiet. Just goes quiet. Not totally silent, it can, of course, but it just calms down and it goes quiet. It's almost like better than meditation. It's I can't explain it really, because it's something, it's not a runner's high. That's totally different. It's totally different. I felt that a few times. That's a rare thing for me. But I've heard other people talk about it. That's not what it is. This is being comfortable by yourself, with who you are, and being comfortable with the process you're going through. You see, we need to push through pain. As men, we have to have the strength to be able to deal with the challenges of life. Not only the challenges of life, the stress and the problems and all that, but the challenges of life of who we are as a person. And the only way that can happen is you've got to build the inner strength. You've got to let that warrior side of your masculinity out once in a while. And you've got to be comfortable with who you are. And you do that by being present while you're in your warrior training. So I don't just call it training. This is warrior training. When I'm out for a run, 5 miles, 10 miles, the other day I ran 26 miles up a mountain, literally 4,000 feet up a mountain, and turned around and came back. That's not a run. That's warrior training. That's warrior training for my emotions, my body, my mind. That's why I never, ever, ever listen to anything when I'm running, when I'm training, when I'm in the gym, when I'm meditating. I don't listen to anything. I go out to where there's noisy areas just so I can get my mind to push out the distractions, the external distractions, so that I can be present with myself. Not only for my mind, but for my emotions, so that I can be comfortable with who I am, because that is one of the most difficult things. That's one of the biggest challenges we have in life, is to be comfortable with yourself in silence. And if you can do that, you'll be amazed at how your life changes. So, here's my challenge for you. Next 30 days, work out every single day. If you're not working out every single day, you're already a pansy ass. So start working out every day. It doesn't have to be a crazy hard workout, but do it every day. The conditioning of the mind, the emotions, the soul, that's why you work out every day. And then don't leave the iPhone. I almost never take my iPhone with me unless I need it either for logistical reasons. So I need it for directions, so for navigation. If I need it because I want to take photos, it's the only time I take the phone with me. Or if I know I'm going to be out so long or so far, I take it with me for safety reasons, in case I need to call somebody or call a cab to get me back home if I have an injury or something like that, whatever. But I never take my iPhone with me. I never listen to music because I want to be focused on what's happening. So 30 days, work out every day. Do not even take your phone with you if you can avoid it, but definitely do not take the earbuds, and do not listen to anything for 30 days. Then come back and tell me, what do you think? Comment on this video, comment on this audio. What do you think? Did it make a difference? Because I know it will, but then tell me how it made a difference in your life. How did that make a difference in your life? What were the cascading effects? What was the tertiary effects in your life? Did it make you more focused at work? Did it make you more present with your kids? Did it make you a better husband, or boyfriend, spouse? Did it make you a better person with yourself? Did it help you bring out that masculinity? Did it help you bring out the warrior, that warrior side of you? Comment below what you think about this idea now. Especially if you're one of the people say, I could never do it without music, because I've heard that so much. I could never do it without music. If you can't do it without music, your mind is so weak that you must do this 30-day challenge. You must, because your mind is so weak, so fragmented. It's like an old PC that just constantly gets fragmented, and eventually when it gets fragmented enough, what happens to an old PC when it gets overly fragmented? It stops working, and you have to stop and defragment it. And sometimes you can't even improve that. But with your body, with your mind, with your emotions, you can defragment your mind and make it better so that you're more focused, you're more patient, you deal with stress better, you can push through any challenge that it has in life. And so comment below now what you think, and then go try this for 30 days and come back and comment again.